How dare you, Guy Ritchie? Look, I understand that movies like Aladdin and the King Arthur movie, the problems and the bad things in those movies can be chalked up to studio interference. I get it, I totally do. But this one is all on you. How dare you, Guy Ritchie, waste a perfectly good pint and pickled egg? Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies. As always, I'm your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today, Guy Ritchie gets to return to doing the kind of things that we love Guy Ritchie for as we talk about The Gentleman. I just have to come right out and say it. I highly recommend this movie if you love Guy Ritchie's movies like Lock, Stock, or Revolver, Rock and Roll, just movies like those. Definitely check this one out. I really dug this movie. After seeing the trailer, I had lots of hopes for it, and most of those hopes were realized. I really dug the heck out of this movie. What it's about is Matthew McConaughey plays this big-time pot dealer over in London, and at the beginning of the movie, we see that he's in a pub, and he may or may not have been shot. That's where the pickled egg and pint reference in the intro comes in, and we see that happen, and then we have Charlie Hunnam's character. He is Matthew McConaughey's character's right hand man. He is approached by this sleazy reporter named Fletcher, played by Hugh Grant, who is amazing in this movie. Hugh Grant is he's beyond fantastic in this movie, and he is basically telling the story as we go through the whole movie on what he thinks has happened leading up to certain points, and he's going through talking about how these people are trying to do this, and these people try and do that, and this person killed this person. He's just laying it all out for Charlie Hunnam's character. And also, one of the main plots of the movie is Matthew McConaughey's character is trying to sell his pot business. He wants to retire. He's talking about how the future of the business, especially when marijuana finally goes legal, it's going to need someone that doesn't have a lot of blood on their hands, which he has plenty of blood on his hands. So he's talking about wanting to get out of the business, make a big profit, and for the future of the business, put it in someone's hands that will not be seen as a criminal. They'll just see him as a businessman. So he's trying to sell it for like $400 million. And Jeremy Strong plays another dealer who's going to buy the business from him. And then the rest of the movie is just different gangs and everything else trying to undermine the sale. There's thefts at some of the drug or the marijuana factories. There's people killing each other. It's chaos. It's total and utter complete chaos. It's hard to really describe what's going on in this movie other than just saying it's chaos. That is one of the strong points of the movie. The fact that the situations at times get really ridiculous, and they're fantastic. It's one of those movies I would just tell you, go in for the characters, go in for the ride, because just the ride through this movie of this tale that Hugh Grant is spinning is fantastic. He's telling all these, and there's times he'll tell a lie and it'll be something ridiculous, and he just wants to see if Charlie Hunnam's character's paying attention. He'll explain how someone's acting. He'll be like, no, that person doesn't act like that, and things like that. So I just enjoyed, especially Charlie Hunnam and Hugh Grant's back and forth as he's telling him this story. So yeah, just it's hard to explain the movie other than to say it's utter and complete chaos, but it is amazing utter and complete chaos. And really the strong point of this movie is by far the characters. Matthew McConaughey as Mickey Pearson. I loved him because he's just very Matthew McConaughey. And it's funny because him and him playing off Michelle Dockery, who plays his wife, just their dynamic together is fantastic. They have this kind of running joke where McConaughey's basically saying, am I going to get lucky this time? And it doesn't happen. And it has a really good payoff. And just their dynamic together is really fantastic. Charlie Hunnam is really good in this because as the right-hand man, he's always just very calm. I think he may only lose it once. But really just the whole time it's any situation, he keeps a calm head. And there's a scene where he has to chase down somebody and this person goes and gets with his gang, and Charlie Hunnam, instead of freaking out or running or whatever, he just kind of and then pulls out a machine gun and shoots it up in the air, and it's just like, okay, now you're gonna give me what I want. I just loved how calm he was. And it comes to find out that you're wondering how he became the right hand man. I'm not saying he's dumb or anything. You see him do lots of cool stuff, but you find out later in the movie just how good his character is at his job, and I love that. Jeremy Strong as the other or as one of the other big drug dealers, he is very unassuming. You can't really see him. How did he last so long in this business? This just bloodthirsty, money hungry business. And then, you find out, that while he doesn't get his hands dirty himself, he's got muscle, that does it, and just that are very loyal to him. And that works really well. Colin Farrell is fantastic in this. You've seen him in the trailer. If you've seen the trailer, you see kind of how somewhat ridiculous his character is. He plays this boxing coach who some of the young men at his gym, they have a budding YouTube career, but they're doing crimes and rap, and he kind of gets involved in the overall story by accident, but he ends up becoming a very vital character by the end of the movie. Henry Golding is Dry Eye. He's one of the he wants McConaughey's business, and he's going to do anything he can to take it. Hugh Grant, again, probably the best part of this movie. He's just so sleazy and creepy, and and just the way he tells the stories, he's so fantastic. And it's just fun, again, watching him and Charlie Hunnam in almost a battle of wits as Hugh Grant's telling this story. So yeah, the characters are a big reason that this movie works. The two biggest reasons, again, why this movie works so well for me is, first of all, overall, the characters, and then just the ridiculous situations. There's some weird and creepy stuff that happens in this movie. Eddie Marsan, what he is involved in or gets involved in, he's this newspaper editor who really wants Matthew McConaughey's character bad, because Matthew McConaughey's character snubbed him at a party and wouldn't shake his hand. So he goes on this big revenge, I'm going to take down your business crusade. And what they do to him at the end is gross, but really funny. It's gross, but really funny. You see where I'm going here. It's one of those things. It's so disgusting, but you can't help but laugh, but you feel gross for laughing. And I just really enjoyed the characters. So you have the great characters and the ridiculous situations in a movie that ends up in a way breaking the fourth wall. Not saying they look at you and talk, but Hugh Grant's character at the first mentions that he's wrote a screenplay of these situations that's going to happen, or that he thinks has happened. And, he says, look, and his whole thing is, I'm going to, I was paid this much to get this story, but I want you to pay me this big amount of money not to run it. But he goes, also, I'll give you the screenplay and you can make a movie. So that kind of plays into, it kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit. Near the end of the movie, you would see what I mean, how it kind of breaks into reality. But yeah, there's not much more I can say about this movie other than it's ridiculously fun. The characters are so fun and amazing and interesting to watch. It's violent, it's crazy, it's chaotic. It's everything that you want from a Guy Ritchie movie. Guy Ritchie to me is one of those directors that you need to leave alone. You need to let them do their own thing. And I don't want to see him do like Aladdin anymore or King Arthur unless he's in total control of it. I just want to see him do his own thing. He's just one of those directors that you just want to give full control of a movie to. And I'm glad Miramax let him kind of do what he wanted. I want him to stay with groups like Miramax that'll let him make the kind of movies he wants, because those are the kind of movies that he makes that most people like. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. And if you like his work, like Lock, Stock, or Revolver, or movies like that, you're really going to dig this movie. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and you have anything to say about The Gentleman, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Till next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. See you later.